I didn't learn this in my 40s. I didn't even learn it in my 50s. I learned it after 60 when the attention came back, but felt off. Suddenly, men I didn't know were eager, too eager. Compliments came fast. Commitment talk came early. And something in my chest tightened because it didn't feel like genuine interest. It felt like hunger. Here's the truth most people won't say out loud. Many men who aggressively chase women over 60 are not chasing you. They're chasing one sad thing they believe you'll give them easily. And if you don't see it early, you'll pay for it emotionally later. Part 2. It's not love. It's emotional refuge. Many of these men aren't entering your life with excitement. They're entering with exhaustion. They've already lived a life that didn't turn out the way they expected. A marriage that failed, children who drifted away, careers that ended quietly instead of triumphantly. And instead of facing that grief, they look for somewhere soft to land. A woman over 60 looks safe to them, not because you are weak, but because you are calm, because you've seen things, because you don't panic easily. They sense that steadiness and mistake it for availability, so they talk and talk and talk about how unfair their ex was, how no one understands them, how hard life has been. At first it feels like intimacy, like vulnerability, but real vulnerability comes with self-awareness. This doesn't. This is emotional dumping dressed up as connection. They're not asking, can we build something together? They're silently asking, can I rest here without being questioned? And when a relationship begins with refuge instead of reciprocity, one person ends up carrying the weight of two lives. Part 3. They want caretaking disguised as companionship. This part is subtle. That's why it's dangerous. They don't say, I want someone to take care of me. They say, I've never met anyone like you. They admire your reliability, your empathy, your ability to handle things without drama. But watch closely what they don't admire. They don't ask what excites you. They don't encourage your independence. They don't celebrate your growth. Instead, they relax too quickly. They let you organize, plan, remember, fix. You become the emotional manager without realizing it. If they're upset, you soothe them. If they're unsure, you reassure them. If they're stuck, you motivate them. And slowly, companionship turns into caretaking. They call you their rock, but a rock never moves. A rock never gets held. Love is mutual support. Caretaking is one-directional, and the moment you stop providing constant emotional availability, they feel rejected, because the relationship was never built on equality to begin with. Part 4. They assume you're afraid to be alone. This assumption runs deep, and it shapes everything they do. Many of these men believe that by 60, a woman is negotiating with time, that she's grateful for attention, that she'll tolerate small disrespect in exchange for company. So they test you early. They cancel plans last minute to see if you accept it. They overshare too soon to see if you'll absorb it. They push physical or emotional closeness quickly to see if you'll say yes, just to keep them. They are measuring how little effort they can give while still being welcomed. And if you hesitate, if you say no, if you ask for clarity, they pull back or accuse you of being guarded or too much. Because the version of you they wanted was quieter, easier, more accommodating. They didn't expect a woman who is comfortable eating dinner alone, sleeping peacefully by herself, enjoying her own company. They didn't expect a woman who understands that solitude is better than emotional chaos. And when they realize you are not afraid of being alone, the dynamic changes instantly. Some rise to meet you. Most disappear. And that disappearance is not a loss. It's confirmation. Part 5. The one sad thing. They're really after here is the part that's hard to hear. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. What many of these men are truly after is emotional labor without accountability. They want comfort without correction, understanding without standards, affection without effort. They want someone who will absorb their moods, smooth their edges, excuse their past, and soften the consequences of their choices. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want to grow. They don't want to look too closely at who they've become. They want relief. And they believe women over 60 are more likely to provide it because society tells them you're done asking, done wanting, and done expecting. So they show up half-formed, unhealed, unexamined, unchanged. They offer stories instead of stability, words instead of action, presence instead of partnership. And if you accept that bargain, you'll spend your energy making his life lighter while yours slowly grows heavier. That is the sadness at the center of it all. Not loneliness, not age, but the quiet expectation that you will carry what they refuse to confront. Part 6. How you spot them before they drain you. The good news is this: you can see this pattern early. If you stop listening only to what they say and start watching what they do. They move fast emotionally. They talk about fate, chemistry, and connection very early on, but they move slowly when it comes to consistency. Plans are vague. Follow-through is uneven. Effort appears when it suits them and disappears when it doesn't. They ask deep questions about your past pain, but skim over your present needs. They praise your kindness more than your boundaries. They say you make them feel calm, but never ask what makes you feel safe. They feel relieved in your presence, but you feel tired after seeing them. That's the clue. Healthy connection energizes both people. Extraction drains one. When interest is real, a man is curious about your inner life, not just grateful for your emotional availability. If the balance is off early, it will only get worse later. Part 7. The power you have now that you didn't before here is what changes everything. At this stage of life, you are no longer auditioning. You are evaluating. You don't need intensity. You don't need flattery. You don't need someone who needs you. You need peace. You've already proven you can love deeply. You've already shown loyalty, patience, and care. Now you get to ask different questions. Does this man add calm or chaos? Does he take responsibility for his life? Does he respect my time, my energy, my independence? If the answer isn't clear, it's no. And here's the truth many men don't expect. You are not afraid to walk away anymore. You know that being alone is not the same as being lonely. You know that your life is full, even without someone sitting across the table from you. So let the men who want comfort without effort keep searching. Let them pass you by. The ones worth your time will not rush you, lean on you, or drain you. They will meet you, steady, whole, and respectful. And that is not sad at all.